Welcome to Discussing Dad Life, where we break down bullshit so you don't have to. I'm Void, this is No, and let's go.
Welcome to Main Event Mondays, everybody. As you're yawning.
Yep, Monday.
Where's the big... Oh, you kind of yawn, man. That was kind of a weak yawn.
Yeah. What do you want?
I'm so tired I can't even yawn appropriately.
I am pretty fucking tired today. This last week, well, the heathen had his karate tournament yesterday. That was an all-day thing.
Yeah.
He whooped some ass, though.
That's good.
Yeah.
How'd he finish? First place?
Second and third.
Second and third. Sweet.
Yeah.
What color belt is he? Is it karate, right?
Yeah, he's purple belt right now.
He's a purple belt. Damn.
Like, color your shirt right now.
It's a good color.
I mean...
I look good in purple.
Hey, so did Barney.
I hate you, you hate me. All right, so let's go ahead and get on with what's going on in the world, buddy.
Yeah.
So what did we start? The Kevin McCarthy thing. Let's start with that.
Yeah. All right.
So this is from the Daily Herald.
Harold.
This is a few days old, and I'm sure everyone's already heard about it. But
he's ball butt hurt.
Kevin McCarthy, 2 months after his historic ouster as U.S. House Speaker, Republican Rep. Kevin McCarthy said Wednesday that he will be resigning and will leave Congress by the end of the year.
Pussy.
His announcement capped a stunning end to a House career for the one-time deli counter owner from Bakersfield, California, who ascended through the state and national politics to become second in line to the presidency until a cluster of hard-right conservatives engineered his removal in October. It's hard-right conservatives. The funny thing is like the guys they're not hard-right. They're constitutionalists. They're not hard-right.
I mean, I agree with you.
It's always entertaining listening to the framing from the
I was going to say, I like the way they worded that. Engineered his removal.
They didn't engineer his removal. McCarthy failed to do his job.
Yeah.
And part of the package in order to get elected was he was going to do the job. And if he didn't, he was going to face removal. Guess what? He didn't do his job. He faced removal, and he got removed.
It's no different than any other job.
Yeah.
You know, you get hired. Okay, you sign the little paper or whatever. I'm going to pay you this much money to do this for this many hours.
Yes.
And you didn't do it, homie. Bounce.
Yeah, out.
No, that's funny shit.
So, yeah. That's pretty much the cap of this, other than the fact that X... You heard about what they did with X, right?
Yeah.
Well, after this announcement came out, they put in a community note basically linking back to McCarthy when he said he would not be leaving office based on this.
That's so funny.
His announcement went out on X, and they linked that community guideline, whatever,
violation.
saying he said he was never going to leave, but
that
if he's
was
leaving,
proven to be a lie. Fucking Maury pops up. That is a lie.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, he's all butthurt, but I mean, it does make sense that he's going to leave office because he's got to distance himself from all the enemies.
Oh yeah, dude, all the negative.
I mean, all the stuff that he has a bunch of IOUs that he cannot cash in on now.
Oh yeah,
and I mean, it doesn't surprise me that I would leave because this is one of the only steps he can take to have some sort of self-preservation.
I was going to say some dignity.
Not even dignity, just to keep from being
the sharks at bay.
Epsteined.
Yeah.
I mean,
unalived.
Yeah, unalived. I mean,
Hillary Clinton. Yeah,
that's a good one. Damn. Here you go.
Don't take down our channel.
So let's continue on with the House news. You want to go ahead with this one?
House impeachment inquiry enters crucial week as Republicans prepare for key vote. Cha-cha-cha. This is only 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Is this CNN?
This is from MSN.com.
Oh, MSN.com.
On behalf of CNN.
On behalf of CNN. Okay, I read that wrong.
Story by Annie Greer and Marshall Cohen, CNN. So, Cohen.
Shady. All right, anyways. House Republicans are preparing to formalize their impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden with a House vote this week, as their investigation reaches a critical juncture while right-wing pressure grows. Up until this point, House Republicans have not had enough votes to legitimize their ongoing inquiry with a full chamber vote. The probe has struggled to uncover wrongdoing by the president. I don't understand that part. I thought there was all kinds of evidence. You know what I mean? Like
there is.
So That's what I'm saying. The way they're framing is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No, they're not
They have
struggled to uncover any wrongdoing. They've
they
actually
have all the
uncovered a
checks
lot
linked.
of wrongdoing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you're full of shit, CNN, which is why it hasn't garnered the unified support of the full GOP. No, it hasn't gotten the full support because half those other motherfuckers are rhinos and they got money in their pockets from you guys. My opinion.
Well, no, think about it like this.
Go ahead.
There is a uniparty
Yes.
that is focused on certain things.
Yeah.
And removal of Joe Biden does not do good things for the uniparty.
No.
Because right now, Joe Biden is just, I mean, he's a wet loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Just sitting in office, doing whatever he's told to do.
Yeah.
He has no, so the uniparty wants him in there in order to take full advantage of it. That's, I mean.
Well, yeah, because they can get away with anything as long as he's in charge.
Yeah, but I mean, the Democrats basically want funding for Ukraine. They want funding for Israel. They want to go to war with Iran.
Yeah. Want to launder the rest of the money.
Iran. I'm sorry, I should say it right. Iran, not Iran.
He said Iran.
I said Iran.
That way.
Right? But the uniparty wants this because the military-industrial complex makes a lot of buttload of money off the backs of the tax-paying American citizens.
Yeah.
By going and producing all these bombs, killing a bunch of innocent people, and then executing American citizens on foreign soils. Obama, he did it.
Was really
Look it
bad
up.
at that.
It's true. I'm not just pulling that out my ass.
Did you hear what? Speaking of the military-industrial complex, did you hear what? I forget who it was, but Tucker fucking he blasted this dude all over the internet, talking about how the Democratic Party. And I don't remember the specific person, but came out and said, well, if you pretty much, more or less, don't quote me, if you don't give us the money to send to Ukraine and Israel and stuff, then, well, we're going to send your brothers and uncles and da-da-da.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. And I said, you're full of shit. Who's your source? And you
said
Tucker.
Dude.
And I was like, oh, crap. That's probably true then.
Dude, that was a little bit of like a sobering thought because you know what? They don't care about anybody. So that could very well become a possibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when you told me that, and then I haven't gone and looked it up. But when you said it came from Tucker, when you saw it, Tucker was the one that reported. I was like, God dang, because Tucker usually doesn't get things wrong.
No, he nails shit on the head
pretty well.
I like Tucker.
So, but yeah, go ahead and finish this off real quick.
Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy unilaterally launched the inquiry in September, even though he had previously criticized Democrats for taking the same step in 2019 when they launched the first impeachment probe of then-President Donald Trump without taking a vote at the beginning. The dynamics for House Republicans changed, however, when the White House told the trio of GOP-led congressional committees leading the investigation that its subpoenas were illegitimate without a formal House vote to authorize the inquiry. The Trump administration made a similar argument against House Democrats at the start of his 2019 impeachment. That gauntlet thrown by the White House has appeared to help reluctant, more moderate Republican members get on board with formalizing the inquiry.
Full pause.
Go for it.
So this is another case of framing.
Yeah.
Right? So let's reframe this.
Break it down.
Democrats do a thing, breaking normal standard procedure, kind of, or whatever, precedent.
Yeah.
Republicans then use the same tactic, and Democrats have an issue.
Yeah.
That's the proper way to frame that, guys.
That's
Democrats do thing, mad that GOP does the same thing.
Oh yeah, dude. They're all like, I mean, it's no different than when they did investigate Trump and they were blaming him for everything, and then come to find out it was them doing the same shit that they were accusing him of.
Hillary Clinton was the one that launched or worked with Russian assets in order to create a fake dossier in order to kneecap President Trump's first term in office. And I say first term because all polls indicate that Donald Trump is going to win in 2024.
Yeah.
I mean, we are still...
If he doesn't win, dude, like...
Even if he does, no matter what, it doesn't matter if he wins or if he loses. It doesn't matter, whatever. We're going to be in for a very rocky time.
Oh, yeah, dude. This next... Whatever's coming, I hope everybody's ready.
Yeah.
Or starting to get ready.
I mean, so I can't take credit for this. I don't remember who said it, but I remember hearing it on Tim Pool's show, Timcast.
Okay.
but they were basically talking about a constitutional republic
Mm-hmm.
in a some kind of there's two parties or two different schools of thoughts living in the United States. One is the constitutional republics, which is typically more the right-wing moderate people.
Yeah.
Right-wing and moderate people. Sorry, let me clarify.
Yes,
Not
right.
trying to say right-wingers or moderates by no means. But then you have like this democratic base that wants to live inside it and say like one vote, one,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, no matter what we do, we have these two very different ideals on how the government's supposed to function, battling each other. And the sad part is the federal government is set up as a constitutional republic. Automatically, they should win out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even when I was in high school, it was insane how many people thought we lived in a democracy.
Still to this day, I've seen little snippets or reels or whatever they're called, and they go around asking random people on the corners,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Hey, can you answer these questions? And it's all about America or whatever." And not a single one of them gets that exact question right.
Yeah.
What do we live in? And it's like a republic.
Yeah. We live in a
Constitutional
republic.
republic. And everybody's like, democracy.
Cite the Pledge of Allegiance. One republic, or we...
One nation under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
It says it right there that we are a republic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So the republic.
I remember in civics class, which they don't teach in school anymore, which is insane. So
Yeah,
parents,
it is.
dads, make sure you are teaching civics to your children. It's very important for them to understand how the government's supposed to operate.
That's why I homeschool.
But I remember getting out of civics class, and in civics class we were actually having this debate about a republic and a democracy. And this was back when
Back in the day.
right after 9/11. So it was Bush Jr., right?
Okay.
The war hawk, the guy that...
Oh, yeah, it was
basically-
Junior.
It was Junior.
Yeah.
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 Wanted to go and finish what Daddy started.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, fair.
Nonetheless, and the funny thing is Bush Sr. was actually not as bad of a president as his son. His son was horrible.
Yeah, we were around for Senior, but I don't remember it. I was a kid.
Well, it's reading back, right? So obviously I'm reading back with 2020 lenses. And sure, he did things that were wrong, but he was not a bad president. But looking back and living through Junior...
Oh yeah,
and then even looking back with 2020 lenses on his administration,
dun.
I'm sorry. There are some things in his administration, like I'm not a conspiracy theorist normally. I love conspiracies. I love going through the logical exercise on it. But the whole 9/11 thing drives me bonkers because there's so many inconsistencies.
You're talking about okay.
Right?
I've
heard some really good theories, and I've heard some really shitty theories.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I cannot, for the life of me, I can't with 100% conviction say that George Bush Jr. did not order that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that to me, that is sad.
Yeah, I've seen documentaries on that and people's like testimonies, and they're like, no, dude, that was a missile.
Yeah.
That hit the Pentagon, that hit the Twin Towers.
Yep.
They're like, there's no way in hell those I've seen it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it is also very strange that the government went in and then covered up rather than gathering evidence, actually laid freaking soil on top of the debris.
Yeah.
And then the debris that was removed was not nearly the amount of trucks carrying it out, which was one truck, was not enough to actually take a full Boeing 747.
Or like the I-beams at the base, cut it at
an angle.
Yep.
Right. Suggests controlled demolition. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of just inconsistencies. I'm not saying any of this is right. I'm just saying because there's so many inconsistencies and our government has lied so much that I cannot even say.
You just nailed it on the head. It's the fact that our government has had so many inconsistencies and so many irregularities or whatever freaking adjective you want to put there that we don't trust them anymore.
Yeah.
I know I don't. Do you?
No.
Exactly. And I know you guys don't either. Well, maybe not all of you. But that's the thing, man. The government is going to have to do some serious ass kissing or proving it, man. Proving that they're who they say they are.
There's a simple way for the government to get respect and trust back in their institutions.
Keep your fucking word.
Go back to the founding documents and stop meddling with everyone's lives.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this before we walked down to do the show.
I'm saying. Keep your fucking word, you know?
If you really want to reinstill trust back in the American government, what you need to do is eliminate the FBI, eliminate all the federal laws, put everything back, go back to the federalist way of doing government, right? Let the states control it. If it's not expressly called out in the Constitution, it becomes a state's issue.
Yeah.
Right? This is why I was so happy when Roe v. Wade got overturned, because Roe v. Wade was an overstep by the federal government.
Yeah, well, yeah,
right?
that's not a constitutional right. That was supposed to be
that should be determined at the state levels.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that doesn't tell. I'm not saying that I agree or disagree with abortion.
You're just talking about the law itself.
I'm talking about the simple fact that we are a constitutional republic. That is because it's not covered in the Constitution, the federal Constitution. It automatically becomes a state's issue.
Exactly.
And we need to let the states handle it. And then if the states have too much varying degrees and there becomes legal issues, that's when it goes to the federal courts in order to start figuring out how to do
hashing it out.
To hash it out between the states.
And see, and that's why when that whole situation, like, it got reversed, there you see all these, people saying, "Oh, that's my body, my choice, women's rights." They just took it away from us. That's not really what happened. They just said that the states. It's up to your state, though.
But the Democrats are really good at propagandizing things, and they've lied and
now
the indoctrination into
these
women.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Yeah,
I mean they have lied about what you can do. Now that doesn't mean that there aren't states where that did happen.
Oh yeah. That's
right?
That's actually that's
that is a valid
too.
point. There are some states that actually happened.
Yeah. But that's the state's
decision. The argument I have against this is I get that it's the argument of it's my body, it's my choice to do what I want with my body. Yeah, but what you're doing is you are taking a choice away from another person's body.
And that's true too.
Right? So this issue is so complex, it's not going to be hammered out by just saying one thing, right?
Yeah,
this is a cultural change that has to go either one way or the other.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, I don't think the two sides are so extreme that you really can't.
They're never going to see eye to eye on any of that.
They're never going to see eye to eye.
No.
So this is going to be an issue that is around probably until the end of time.
Yeah. Which Joe, never mind. I'll keep that comment to myself.
I like how we were talking about how the Democrats are upset that the Republicans are. We went down and we went off on like a random ass tangent and then went way off to the other side. Sorry about that.
I apologize for nothing.
So nonetheless, I do believe it's Thursday. They will be voting on the impeachment inquiry going full forward.
Well, here, last question about it, and we'll move on. Do you think that they're going to have enough votes?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I don't think they will.
I don't think so either.
I think they should.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do.
But even if they do get enough votes, it's never going to go anywhere. They might impeach in the House. Whoop they do.
Yeah, that doesn't mean shit.
The Senate's never going to remove them.
No, they're making too much money.
In some ways, it's nice to see that they're trying to hold this corrupt person accountable, but at the same time, it's pointless. It's wasting our taxpaying money.
I feel like it's a house of cards that's getting ready to crumble, but they're holding on you know what I mean, for as long as possible. Yeah. All right, what's next? Good old Hunter's back in the news.
Yeah, let's talk about the Hunters. 5 takeaways from the latest indictment of Hunter Biden. Right? So this one's from The Hill.
So trusty.
Biden already faces gun charges relating to allegedly lying about his use of illegal drugs in the process of buying a gun in 2018. So if I'm not mistaken, they don't have to say allegedly lying about it now because that's already been proven. He was lying. He was lying.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he
even admitted it.
He admitted it.
Yeah.
So it's no longer allegedly. He admitted it. He was going to take a plea deal. Oh, I wonder if that's why, because the plea deal fell apart. So technically he's innocent until proven guilty. So I wonder if that's why they're doing that.
But he admitted it.
but under the rule of law, you're in. Well, unless you're a Republican, or non-Democrat, because even moderates and independents are actually guilty of this now. But unless you're a Democrat, you are innocent until proven guilty.
I mean,
but everyone else is guilty until proven innocent. I mean,
all you have to be is not part of the cool club, and you're guilty until proven innocent.
well, the prime example of this is what's that dipshit out of New York? Santos.
Oh, Santos.
Yeah, he just got removed from office.
Yes, he did.
From the House.
Punk.
They got enough. The Democrats got enough votes to oust him.
Yeah.
But he hasn't even gone through any criminal processes or anything like that. So the Democrats essentially have told the American people, like, hey, even if you get alleged to do these things, you're guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, you're
like,
gone.
That's basically the precedent they set right there.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the precedent I take away from it.
Well, I mean, and I can understand that. And that's exactly the way I understood it. So,
yep, sorry, we're going off on a tangent again.
it's all good.
New charges were approved by a grand jury and paneled by special counsel David Weiss. Weiss was first appointed by a U.S. attorney for Delaware by former President Trump, but continued in the role after President Biden's election. Weiss has received criticism from Republicans more recently for purportedly being too lenient on Hunter Biden. He was appointed special counsel in August. The charges filed with the U.S. District Court of the Central District of California come after a plea deal collapsed during the summer. Biden is expected to vigorously contest the charges. If convicted, he would face a maximum sentence of 17 years in prison. Here are a few takeaways from the indictment. Where are the takeaways?
I don't know. But no mention of President Biden in the indictment. That's a takeaway, right?
Yeah, that's a takeaway.
Just kidding. I'm being facetious.
Trump and Hunter's criminal trials loom in an election year? No shit. I mean, that's apparent.
So they're going to just...
No mention of President Biden's in the indictment? Of course. Why? Of course. Why would the DOJ, who works for President Biden, input anything in there, other than the fact that we've already know that there's documents out there linking all of Hunter Biden's dealings with his dad.
Well, and Jim Biden, or whatever his name is.
He's, so they got to protect the big guy. I mean, our corrupt government's got to protect the big guy.
Needs his 10%.
Yep, needs his 10%.
Fucking God, I hate our presidency right now.
Hunter forced back into the defensive again with Republicans. That's always been the case. A measure of vindication for the IRS whistleblowers.
What?
The Hunter Biden saga is long, convoluted, encompassing years-long investigation. The now collapsed plea deal and a series of allegations, denials over the probe was conducted. But the bottom line, the filing of serious criminal charges is a moral victory for those who argued that prosecutors have gone too lightly on them.
Yeah.
Of specific relevance to this latest indictment was an allegation from a whistleblower, an IRS agent named Gary Shapley. Shapley alleged that he had been shocked when Weiss revealed that he did not have final charging authority in the Biden case.
Of course not.
Okay, so yeah.
It's just saying the same shit that already happened.
Yeah, so fresh momentum of the story, right? So really those are not
say
real
anything.
5 new takeaways from the latest indictment.
That's literally everything we already knew.
Yeah, so that's not takeaways.
The Hill.
You suck.
Yeah,
like
eat a dick.
That was pointless, guys. The story should have been
just
like,
literally
hey, these are the new charges
Yeah.
Biden's facing because Biden is just as corrupt as his father, using the Biden name in order to peddle influence with then Vice President Biden overseas to collect a shit ton of money to bring it over to the United States in order to basically cash in favors when he became president.
They literally took all those old things that we already knew and just regurgitated them.
Yeah.
That's all that fucking article was.
Pointless. Gosh. Okay.
And see, here we are breaking it down so you don't have to.
Jeez. Okay, so do you wanna handle the Venezuela one, or do you want me to?
No, you handle the Venezuela one because I don't know too much about it.
Okay, so in a nutshell, I'm just going to give a high level real quick, and then we'll go into this article. In a nutshell, capitalistic tools were used to discover oil deposits off of Guyana. Okay, after those oil deposits were found, Venezuelan laid claim to that portion of Guyana, saying it's theirs.
It's just fun to say. Guyana.
So basically this article is from Reuters. Am I saying that right? Reuters?
Where? Let me see.
Reuters?
Reuters?
I think that's how you say that.
Reuters.
Reuters? Explainer. What is the border dispute between Venezuela and Guyana? I have not read this, so hopefully they actually...
Let's figure it out. We're doing this together, guys.
Tensions between neighbors, Venezuela and Guyana, have ratcheted up in recent weeks over a long-running territorial dispute. At issue is 160,000 square kilometers or 62,000 square mile border territory around the Essequibo River, which is mostly jungle in an offshore area with massive discoveries of oil and gas have been made. Both countries claim ownership of the territory, which is sparsely populated and whose much disputed border was agreed under an 1899 decision where Guyana was still part of the British Empire. So hold on. Didn't they just say that it's not long contested because in 1899 the decision when Guyana was still part of?
I mean, yeah, you read that right.
So what has sparked the tension? Venezuela reactivated its claim to the territory in recent years after the finding of some 11 billion barrels of recoverable oil and gas off of Guyana's coast. So hold on.
Let's run it, dude. Run it.
So basically, capitalistic tools went and found oil deposits. Mm-hmm. A socialistic country that has no means of finding this oil went ahead and said, hey, that actually belongs to us. So this, in a nutshell, is a very high level showing that capitalism can go and find and explore new resources for the consumers to have, and the socialists say, let's just go ahead and take that.
We need our shit back.
That's bam. I think that's the end of it right there.
Yeah,
I think that covered it up quite well, guys. Thank you.
Next, dude, you nailed it. You can't. I mean, you can't argue with that.
Still, there is more to this, right?
Oh, I'm sure there's some
Guyana.
details.
Well, I'm not talking about the dispute. The dispute's been long claimed, but Venezuela is going to lose this one because it's been recognized for over a decade a century.
Century.
Right. But the issue that we're going to face now is Guyana is asking U.S. aid
and that's what I was
to defend itself from Venezuela. So it is going to be very interesting how the president actually decides if he's going to send military forces down to help.
I'm sure he will
shore up his border. In a lot of ways, I'm not huge on military interventions, but there are certain things that in the Western Hemisphere, the United States controls the Western Hemisphere, right? So I think it's called the Monroe Doctrine, if I remember correctly.
I have no idea.
Or no, is Monroe Doctrine? No, that's wrong.
You got me on this one.
Maybe it is the Monroe Doctrine. I'm going to have to look that up, guys. Fact check me. Basically, there's a doctrine that says that the U.S. will not put up with any Eastern country, so Europe, Asia, Eurasia, Middle East, Africa, anybody other than the Americans dealing with the North and South America or Central America conflicts, right? We're the only ones that are going to intervene in any way, shape, or form. Right?
I know what you're talking about.
So, like, Venezuela is getting support from Iran.
Which is
Iran. Sorry, Iran is getting support from China, getting support from Russia. If any of that makes moves into it, the United States does kind of have to address it because otherwise, again, it's just another failure.
Well, this is our turf. You know what I mean?
What's that?
This is our turf, so it only makes sense that hey, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but
it's
going
to be interesting, right? So if that happens, let's say that Biden doesn't do anything and actually just lets it go over. All that does is once again show the disastrous state that America is actually.
It's going to make us look even that much weaker.
Right. Because I mean, look at the surrender. Not even okay, so I'm talking about the surrender in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Right, because that was a surrender, pure and def.
Absolutely.
Right, but in some ways, it was almost treasonous what they did.
I could agree with that. I like your word choice. Yeah.
So I struggle trying to determine whether or not it was a surrender or if it was a treasonous act from our president.
Fair.
Right, and the reasoning why is because think about it like this: we left munitions and equipment over there.
Like $1 billion worth or something like that.
That stuff ended up in the hands of the Taliban, which then has, I'm still not 100% sure on this. I've not had any confirmation, but it's made its way into Hamas, right? So basically, we gave enemies of the United States foreign aid, which is, by definition, treasonous.
What did they say the reason was? It was too expensive to bring it back. Isn't that what?
It does. But this is another issue, right? Because they abandoned American citizens.
Yeah.
Over there as well, right? They pulled out without coordinating with the Afghan government of the was it Bagram Air Force Base? Yeah, Bagram, right?
Yeah.
So there were so many things that they did wrong that the only logical conclusion you can drive from this is either A, there's two courses you can drive from this. A is we have an inept leadership in our military stemming from the president all the way down to chiefs of staff in our top level generals.
Incompetent.
Or our government was treasonous against the American people.
You did it on purpose.
Right? Those are the two logical explanations that you can drive from.
Yeah. Yeah. Either one, it was done on purpose, or two, you're just an idiot.
Which both of them should be
very valid.
Out.
Yeah.
All of you guys should be out. Like if you were incompetent enough to do it, you should be out. If you were treason enough to do it, you should be out and then going to prison.
Or a firing squad. Just saying. Just saying.
But
well, it's just okay. Hang on. Here's my 2 cents. It's just going to be interesting. Okay, so now we've got this conflict going on, and that's
potential conflict.
Potential conflict, which I could see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've also got our troops over there in Taiwan now.
Yeah, well, we've had troops in Taiwan.
Well, I know, but
we have that potential
exactly.
As well, right?
That's what I'm getting at. And then we also have them in Ukraine.
Yep.
And then we also have them now in the Middle East.
Well, we've had them in the Middle East.
Exactly.
But that one's way hotter than it ever.
That's what I'm saying. Is that it's getting more progressive, or it's progressively getting worse.
So what happens when you have conflicts all over the world? What's that called?
Well, wait, what do you mean?
Would you call it a world war?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you're having,
you threw me off for a second.
To me, that's almost the definition of a world war. You're having conflicts in so many different parts of the world. The world
and Germany and the UK are got troops right there getting ready to take on Russia.
Yeah,
I read just something about the other day. Something about Germany was sending troops to Poland or something like that. Don't quote me exactly what's going on, but it's like you guys are confronting Russia right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Japanese that are literally and the Philippines getting ready to take on China. And we have made promises to both those areas.
Yeah. Well, then you got Australia that is
getting ready to
directly affected as well in the Southeast Asia, that they're going to have to enter into that.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you not call this a world war?
And the funny thing is
because they haven't announced it. Get the fuck out of here.
The funny thing is I will be arrogant enough to say that I think U.S. foreign policy agendas are a leading contributor to why all this tension is high.
Yeah.
Because we have failed. We took on the mantle of being the stabilizing force in the world. And what did we do? We squandered every opportunity we had in order to advance peace throughout all these countries.
Yeah.
Instead, we encouraged more NATO countries, even though the NATO was set up in order to combat the USSR, which fell in the fucking 80s.
Yeah.
So why do we still have NATO if the USSR is not even around? Don't tell me it's for Russia. Russia is like the 5th largest military, and they are freaking weak. We don't need all these NATO countries. All that does is put pressure on these people that are non-NATO countries, like, hey, you keep butting up to it. Like, we look like we're preparing for war against them.
Yeah, we do look like that.
So we gotta stop all this antagonizing.
You know what I think? You know what I think?
Go for it.
Call me crazy. I think, that America, not America, because I know America doesn't want the war, but the Biden administration.
So hold on. When you say America, you're talking the American people, or you're talking the American government?
I don't think the American people want this war.
No, I don't. Our American government does not follow the will of the American
people,
right?
And that's the point I'm getting at. So the Biden administration, that's where I'm going to go with it. I think they strategically put all these confrontations, or at least allowed them to develop the way they have developed, because they need a confrontation to pop off. Yeah. Okay, our entire history as Americans, every time something happens, we always unite. Like, I will give our people credit for that. We always come together.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's usually under a false flag.
It's usually under something that's
Pearl Harbor.
9/11. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It always happens this way. And it's weird how history repeats itself.
I should quantify. If you're a conspiracy theorist, those are false flags.
If you're me.
If you're not a conspiracy theorist, you actually don't understand that FDR allowed Pearl Harbor to happen. He did not allow that intelligence to make its way so that Pearl Harbor was actually well defended. And all the terrorist attacks in 9/11, the intelligence community actually didn't follow through with that. Just saying.
Just putting it out there. But okay, let's ignore all that.
Okay,
let's ignore all the shit that we know.
Okay.
And just put into the simple fact that they want something to happen.
Okay.
Because as soon as that does, guess what? The attention's off of them for one.
Yeah.
Okay. We unite and we always take, like, our people are so good at what we do. You know what I mean? Like, we always unite and we always take on the known bad guy, but who, like, they're not necessarily the bad guy.
I would agree with you there, but we unite. We used to unite to take on the known bad guy that might not be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I would agree with you there, but I don't see it happening this time.
See, and that's where I'm conflicted on this issue right now too, because that's what we used to do, and right now, dude, like I said, the people are pissed.
Right? Yeah.
So we might not do it this way. We might say, you know what, fuck you. And
well,
you go
I think the conflict in Israel going on right now with Israel and Hamas.
Oh, yeah, that's
actually
a big
is
one.
a prime example of why I don't think that it would happen. That the entire United States or the bulk of the United States would unite.
I don't know,
because you have the president of was it Columbia or Harvard? I don't know. They just had to step down because of their remarks to Congress about basically supporting their students that are calling for the death of Israel's.
Holy shit, I haven't heard that.
Right? She's like, oh no, that's free speech.
You can't.
Which is interesting. It's just it showcases the hypocrisy, right? Because the presidents are just like, oh, well, you have to use approved speech here, but if they want to say that, they can say it, whatever.
Very contradictory.
But what I'm getting at is the Israel Hamas conflict. I think actually showcases it, right? Because even among the right and even among the left, on the left you have two very different factions.
Yeah.
One is very pro Palestine and the other is very pro-Israel, right? So the left is fracturing along those lines, but then even among the right, you have people that are very pro-Palestine, or not pro-Palestine, but pro-Israel, and then anti-interventionists. Right?
Well, yeah, and
then even in the moderate section, which is where I fall, you have people that are pro-supporting Israel and a little bit of mix of anti-interventionists and pro-Palestinians.
It's definitely a unique situation.
Right. So because I think that highlights where we are in America. We have so many different perspectives on this. Americans are not just this one monolithic block.
No,
right?
we're not.
That's one thing that's always been great about America is we have so many different cultures. We have so many different backgrounds all feeding into it. And we take the best of each culture and we kind of just wrap it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you.
And we always used to share the same dream of, or same goal of, we want to be the best we can be and free to do our own things, right? That used to be our dream. Now it's kind of a little bit different. But I think that's why I would say I don't think there is a unifying event. I don't think there could be another 9/11.
I think what I'm getting at is I think that's what they want, though. That's what they're hoping for. They're hoping that, okay, I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to the Middle East. We'll just take that for example. I think they're hoping that because they sent all those boats over there to the Red Sea. I think they're hoping that the Navy gets attacked. Well, because then we're going to go to war.
Did they already attack one ship? Didn't Iran?
I thought it was drones though. Last I heard, they didn't
Iranians,
know.
Used a bunch of drones to attack a ship, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I mean, like they're hoping for like a full. I don't know how to describe it. They're hoping for something worse than a couple fucking drones attacking some merchant ships or something.
Yeah.
Because what I read was the merchant ships got attacked and then the U.S. stepped in. That's what I read. I could be wrong.
Well, yeah. One of the main priorities of the United States Navy actually is to protect the tradeways.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that makes sense that they would step in.
Yeah,
and then it would make sense that they would actually get attacked by drones.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's nothing out of the normal. I think they're hoping that Yemen just fucking comes out and takes out one of our destroyers or something. A major event, a red flag event. And that hasn't happened yet. But if it does happen, I think that's what they're counting on. They're hoping that happens. That way it can save their ass.
again, I understand. I would agree with you. Historically, that's probably what they're going for. I think nowadays we're too fractured as a nation to actually do that.
Yeah, I agree with
I mean,
you.
because, we'll just leave it. The Israel-Hamas stuff, I think, is a perfect prime example of why.
Yeah, we could go about that back and forth all day.
Right? I mean, so, okay, enough of the tensions between Israel and Guyana.
What else we got?
Trump. Let's talk about Trump.
Turn it down for Trump.
Trump doubles down on being a dictator. This is written by
Rolling Stone.
Yeah, Rolling Stone. Go ahead, run it.
Donald Trump defended comments he made last week where he said he wanted to be a dictator if reelected, but only for one day in office. Trump began by complaining that Peter Baker of the New York Times wrote an article referencing his comments. Peter Baker today in the New York Times said that I want to be a dictator. The former president said Saturday night at the New York Young Republicans Club's 111th annual gala, I didn't say that. I said I wanted to be a dictator for one day. You know why I wanted to be a dictator? Because I want a wall and I want to drill. God, dude, he knows how to take whatever they're saying and like flip it and use it. You know what I mean?
Well, the funny thing is he did say he was going to
I know.
for one day, right?
He did.
But the Democrats took that like
and ran.
We told you he's going to be a dictator.
Dude, it's just that he knows their playbook because they do the same shit over and over, and he just goes, okay.
Yeah.
I think he does it on purpose.
I think, and sometimes I think he does, and other times I think he's just
that much of an asshole.
I think he's just that lucky sometimes.
All right, fair. I'll go with that.
Right? I have a hard time giving Donald Trump credit for being like this mastermind when
I know
he
you
says
do.
some of the stupidest shit I've ever heard out of a person's mouth.
Yeah.
Right? So
he does say some stupid shit sometimes.
But
I love him,
I
dude.
will say the dude seems to be lucky. Like
but now too lucky or holy shit lucky?
I don't know, man. I in some ways, it's just like the only thing I can come up with is either A, you're a mastermind, or B, you're the luckiest person to ever live.
It's a part of the script, my friend. Don't you know?
Oh God, it's part of the simulation.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
Fucking stupid. Yeah. Do you want to finish that one?
Oh,
that basically covers.
I mean, it does, dude. They're full of shit, and Trump. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. And the other thing about Trump is this is from Go Banking, or no?
Go Banking Rates.
No, that's a follow. Start. I don't know who wrote this.
Trump era tax cuts. What?
It's written by David Nadel.
Story by Nadelli.
I don't know where he's from though. Yeah, so when 2025 draws to a close, so many of the sweeping Trump-era GOP tax breaks established by the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, while the legislation made some tax cuts to corporate profit permanent, lowered individual tax rates will expire on December 31st of 2025 and will revert to pre-TCJA levels. So what I find interesting is this article is confirming that Trump-era tax cuts actually did benefit the American people.
Yeah.
When that happened, all the media would say was, you're actually paying higher taxes or you're paying more taxes. But so, yeah, interesting.
That everything he was doing, cutting all that red tape, was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. And that's the main reason I wanted to bring this up. We all know that these are going to be done in 2025. And it goes on to say, largely dependent on which party ends up controlling the White House and Congress after Inauguration Day of 2025, changes to the tax codes are coming, whether cuts have been kept. Republicans rates written by Democrats or divided government will agree on some sort of bipartisan compromise. Taxpayers of every political persuasion will be affected. And you know my stance on this. The federal government should no longer be taxing anybody. I think the states need to stand up together and tell the federal government to go fuck themselves.
Yeah,
because all they're doing is abusing the citizens of the United States.
We're just modern day slaves, buddy.
Yep. Basically, I mean, I wouldn't say it's slaves because technically we make money, right? And slaves don't make money. Serfs.
It's just another form of control.
We're serfs.
Yeah,
right?
Fair.
That's the correct term. We're serfs.
Either way, man, there's so many laws and regulations and shit. You might as well just be a slave.
Well, yeah. I mean,
and all that money is okay.
Well, I've told you about my dealings this last year with some of the stuff and how much money I've had to pay to the federal government
I wonder what would happen if everybody just didn't pay their taxes, just didn't do them for 1 year.
They'd send the government to start killing people. I guarantee it.
If everybody, dude,
I guarantee it. I guarantee that if people were to stand up, the bulk of people, say 60% of people said we're not paying taxes to you.
And they just start
corrupt
offing people.
I guarantee that they would send in the military in to different, to avoid their hometowns. Like they'll send the freaking troops that are based in like freaking Texas to start executing motherfuckers in Alaska.
Damn, that's pretty dark.
Our federal government is corrupt as corrupt can be. I could totally see them ordering executions and doing it under the guise of treason. Just because
you didn't do your taxes. You didn't pay the war machine. So you're going to die, you treasonous bitch.
Exactly. I could totally see that happening.
Damn. Man, we live in a fucked up world.
Yeah.
I usually try to be an optimist about shit, but it's hard these days.
No, it is hard. It is extremely hard to be optimistic when our federal government literally steps on all of our rights as people.
That's what they're doing.
Every day of our lives.
Yeah.
And I wish our states had more of a backbone to stand up against the federal government. Florida's doing a decent job. Texas is doing a decent job. Idaho, for as many problems as it has, wow. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't.
Totally
say it
screwed
again.
that up, man. For as many problems as Idaho has, it actually does a fairly decent job of standing up for it. But I wish they could do more. Right.
Well, yeah. And when it comes down to certain moments where they need to vote or whatever, they could do the right thing.
Yep.
And for all we know, they are. I don't know the votes right now between our state, but
no, it's usually just bickering over
same
crap.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, we went to go pick up my car, right?
Yeah.
And what comment did I make? The roads are horrible.
Yeah.
Our infrastructure in the United States is bad. Now, there's places that are wretched, and there's places that are just bad.
I mean,
Idaho has bad roads.
Yeah.
But
I've seen way worse though.
Montana has actually surprisingly decently
Pretty
okay
good roads.
But I was in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon roads were horrible.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Like
my family over there.
So we have issues on infrastructure. We have issues a lot of places. And all our federal government does is take our money, take our money, take our money. 70% of every dollar that you pay to the federal government is already spoken for. It is guaranteed spending.
Yeah.
And then there's like another some odds and ends and stuff. Military takes up, I think, like 15% or 15 cents of the dollar you spend. Roughly, the arguments that's around is only about 4 to 5 cents of your dollar is actually argued about what they're going to spend it on, which is nothing.
Regardless.
So, I mean, we have our federal government has spending issues. If our federal government was a business, the board of directors, everybody would be calling for the heads to roll because of how insolvent we are. We have major problems, and I believe that the only truly way out of this is to get back to federalism, limit the scope or put the scope of what the federal government can do back to the constitutional roots. Get rid of the FBI, get rid of the IRS, get rid of all these freaking non-essential programs. And then put the power back on the states.
I mean, that'd be nice.
And then the states can issue taxes on the citizens in the states. That money stays inside the states, with portions of it going to fund federal programs such as the military, such as paying for the congressmen and women, paying for housing and building projects in like Washington D.C., and then foreign affairs, and then also the judicial systems.
Yeah.
But that is the only way I really see us getting back on track.
Well, I guess we'll see if it happens.
Yeah. Sorry, we went way off on tangents today. Thank you guys for staying with us.
We haven't seen you guys in a while. We missed you.
Yeah, we did. So I guess last thing we're going to leave on is the reminder for December 31st.
Oh, yeah.
I got the shirts ordered. I got everything coming to us. It hasn't yet arrived. As soon as they arrive, we'll show it on.
Yeah, we'll do a little preview of the packages, I guess we could do.
Yep. Yeah.
First, second, third. Right?
So First, second, and third. Yep. So we will do a live on that 31st. Those that are interacting with us in the channel will get entered in for your chance to win some T-shirts. Yeah. Anything else, sir, you want to end on?
No, I'm good.
You're good. Don't lie to the people. You know you're not good.
Pretty much said everything.
For watching, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Till then, peace.